Hola and welcome to Lindita's Kitchen. I am Lindita and we've got a fun show for you today because it is barbecue season. And you know what? I've got some great appetizers that you're gonna take to your next event because it's gonna be so much fun and they're so easy and you're gonna see why. And it's all about jalapeños, so you know it's gonna get hot in here. So let's get started, okay? Ooh, do you hear that sizzle? Yep. This is for my first recipe, appetizer. And this is for the jalapeño dip. We're gonna get them nice and crispy. That's what you'd like in this recipe. We're gonna let them cook up a little bit more. Nice. This is, you want them nice and crisp, just like this. So I'm gonna take them off, remove them, and put them on a towel to drain. Okay, and then right after that, we want to keep the grease here because we're going to add our breadcrumbs to it. So I'm going to sprinkle this in because this is going to be our cover, our topping for our recipe. So what you want to do is you want to just get all your, I guess the bacon grease. That's what it is. And we're gonna toast this up a little bit. Mix it up. Ay, 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 smell the aromas, Ian? Okay. So let's bring it over to the other side. My bacon is done. So what I wanna do, let's go ahead and just, what you wanna do is put your bacon aside here. I've already preset my oven at 400 for this. Okay, so what we want to do is go ahead and just chop or break it up. You know, these are really kind of hard. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and just use my hands. Makes it a lot easier. I know you come up with all kinds of solutions when you're actually doing this, you know, what works for you. So I'm gonna break it up and then you can either, you know, use your knife and break it up some more. Cause I like nice chunky bacon in my dip. And again, it's up to you. So now that I've kind of broken that up, I'm just gonna crunch this up a little bit more. I see. Okay, so we're gonna set this over here. Wait, don't get away. Okay, we'll set this aside because we're gonna need this for this recipe. Half of it, we're gonna put it in our dish. Okay, let me get my hands here. So what we wanna do the next step is, we got some cream cheese. Yeah, we got 2. So you're gonna do 2 8-ounce of the Philadelphia cream cheese. That's what you're gonna use for this recipe. And then we're gonna go ahead and add our mayonnaise. So it's 1 cup of mayonnaise. So we're gonna go ahead, add your mayonnaise. And you know, you have your own, you know, choice. You know, there's Miracle Whip, there's Fast, there's all kinds. You know, that's totally up to you. So then we're gonna add 1 cup of the shredded cheese. And I did kind of break it up a little bit more. So you want to add, oh ho ho, yeah. Put that aside. Okay, so we're gonna just kind of get that going. This is so good. You're gonna love it. You're gonna be the talk of town, I'll tell you what. Okay, so now on the jalapenos, I did use 2 cans, and they're 8-ounce cans of the jalapeno diced. It's already diced. It makes it a lot easier, but you're gonna keep a little jalapeno on the side here because we're gonna top it off at the end, okay? So let's go ahead and add that to it. I did use the hot, and you can do a mild too as well. So don't feel that you have to go hot all the way, like some people. So now we're gonna go ahead and mix this all up. Okay, so now that it's nice and mixed, we're gonna go ahead and add half of this to the dip. And we're gonna save this. for our dish. Okay, so we're ready to put it in the pan. So we've got our jalapeno that we're gonna use for our topping. And jalapenos, you know, it depends the heat level on this. And these are pretty mild because I got the same batch and it looks like it's gonna be pretty mild. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the whole thing for me anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and start, since I'm not gonna use the end for this recipe, I'm gonna go ahead and remove it. And then I'm gonna split it, whoops. Just cut it down the middle. And again, for those that wouldn't, oh, this doesn't have that many seeds. So you can remove them, perfect. So what you wanna do is just go ahead and just dice them. And let me tell you, if this is just something I learned as well, if your jalapeno is really hot and you're not using gloves like I am, I'm not using gloves, what you want to do, a secret that I found out is that you can rub your hands with olive oil and it will remove the heat. I know, I did it. So just so you know, I wanted to share that little secret with you because that's a good one. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this aside because I'm gonna top it with my dish, my dip. And you don't have to use the whole jalapenos, just more for, you know, decoration as well, kind of, you know what I'm saying, when you're doing a dish for color. Perfect. So now we're gonna go ahead and get started on our jalapeno dip, popper dip. So as you know, I went ahead and added all my ingredients and I'm just gonna pour it right in. Get every bit of it because man, this is delicious. It's always a big hit here at my house, I'll tell you what. Our poker parties, events that we do, I've taken this to, you know, barbecues as well. And you can put it in a different, if you want to use a metal dish, you know, one of the foil dishes, so you can just, you know, it's not gonna last. You're not gonna bring it home because it's gonna be gone. I'm telling you, everybody's always scraping the bottom of my my pan when I have a poker party here. They love it. We never have anything left over. And this is why. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of Parmesan. I'm gonna just interact again. I'm using a half a cup of the Parmesan cheese. And then I'm gonna sprinkle it over, nice and gentle. I'm gonna just repeat the process here. Ay, ay, ay. And this is a favorite that we also make at our family reunions. And this is, again, this is the panko breadcrumbs. And I used 1 cup. 1 cup. And if you like more, you know, you can do that too. So you'll see what I'm talking about here in a few. So again, I'm gonna sprinkle on some bacon. And then my little jalapenos. And then this will be it. I'll go ahead and just add my Parmesan cheese, breadcrumbs, a little bit. Oh, of course, you know what? I'm not gonna use all of my jalapeno because I'm gonna add it for something else that I'm gonna do later. So I'm gonna use all of my bacon though. And I had a little bit of Parmesan left, oops. So now we're gonna go ahead and foil it up. How beautiful is that? Now we're gonna go ahead and foil this up. And remember, I did preheat my oven to 400. And we're gonna leave it in there for like 25 to 30 minutes. And I'm gonna take off the top. You'll see later how that works. Okay, so let's get this going. Okay, we're gonna pop this in for 25 to 30 minutes and then we'll check on it. Okay, you want it on the center of your oven. So now we're talking jalapeno poppers, the real thing. So for this recipe, we're gonna need 1 of the 8 ounce, again, your cream cheese, you gotta have that cream cheese in there. And then we're gonna add 1 cup of our shredded cheese and 1.5 tablespoons of Linditas salsa mix. And I'm using the mild because we got some jalapenos over here. So we're gonna go ahead and use this. Linditas, and if you don't have that, you can just put in a little seasoning, taco seasoning or something like that. I mean, that'll do as well. So we'll go ahead and stir this up. I did get my cream cheese to like room temperature because you want it to be a little smooth when you put them in the jalapenos. And again, I did preheat my oven to 375. Okay, so we're gonna just mix this all up in there. It's popper time. Like I said, it was gonna be a hot show, no? I'm not lying. Okay, so we get this all mixed up really good. Okay, we're gonna set this aside because I have to go get some gloves. Go ahead and check on our jalapeno popper dip. I'm gonna take off the foil here. Well, let me see, let me bring it up here. Let's check it out. Okay, so what now we wanna do is set it back in for about another 5 to 8 minutes. And we want this to get kind of like a little golden brown, crisp. Okay, let's pop it back in. Okay. So now we're getting ready for the jalapeno poppers. And I have my gloves because these are a little warmer. So I'm gonna show you how to go ahead and cut them. And I'm gonna use the stem because I'd like for decoration, you know, when you do a presentation, so it's nice to have that. It adds a little touch to it. Okay, so we're gonna take our jalapeno and we're gonna cut it. Try to do down the stem if you can. That's not too bad, Lindita. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try this one as well. Let's see if I can do that one. How pretty is that gonna be? All right, so we're gonna go ahead, try to get the stem. And we're gonna need 12 of these for this recipe. Okay, so since I'm wearing gloves, you know, it's nice to go ahead and scoop them out. You know, just like this. See? I'm gonna scoop them out. You don't want the seeds in this. Again, I use the Linditas mild salsa mix for this, for my little poppers here. So go ahead and you can do your fingers. And if you don't have gloves, what you want to do, that little seed didn't want to come out. Okay, you can also cut the stem out, the vein in the middle. And you can go ahead and use your spoon and scoop it out. Let's do it again. I said if you don't have gloves, but like I said earlier, if for some reason your hands do get a little hot, what you want to do is use some olive oil. And that really does help take the sting out. Believe me, I know. I've done these a couple of times. And sometimes you think the jalapeno is not that hot, and then you find out it's like really hot. And you know what I'm talking about. So go ahead and we'll scoop them out and get them ready to fill. Woo, it's hot in here. So this is what you want right here. They're all hollowed out. I took out all the seeds. So we're gonna start filling these up with our spread, our little filler. So you just, it's about a teaspoon, I should say. So you wanna just use your fingers for this. Nice and easy, así. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, I'll set them back in here. We're gonna fill in a couple of them. And you know, it depends also on the size of your pepper. I mean, let me tell you, there's peppers like this. Okay, so if you have a pepper of this size, you wanna double up the recipe, I'm just saying. Okay, so I'm using half the size and you can even go smaller. So I just wanted to throw that in because I've done them and they are pretty big, but they're delicious. I mean, it's just, what can I say? They're just delicious. So we'll fill them up. Yeah, when I saw that size, I thought, you know, I mean, you gotta love peppers, and you know, we love peppers here. Sure do. So I'll go ahead and just finish up, and I'll fill these up, and then we'll sprinkle them up. Okay, the gloves are off. And let me tell you, we're ready to get this baking. So I do have my oven at 375, and I've gone ahead and just put some parchment paper down, and we'll put our jalapenos. They look beautiful. And we're gonna top it off with some breadcrumbs. So I'm gonna just season them a little bit like this. Just sprinkle them. You don't have to use the whole thing. I mean, like I said, it's totally up to you. But this is what I used. And this is the panko. I love their breadcrumbs. I'm a big fan. And of course, I did save some bacon. You can do a little bacon bits on there. And they are so juicy and delicious. And you're gonna, once you make this recipe, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. Garnish it with your favorite. And you know, there's a lot of vegan recipes as well. So for those, you don't have to use the bacon, but there's other substitutes too, I know that you can use. It just makes it real pretty. And I love presentation. You know, to me, it makes the food taste better. When you have more color in it, you know, I know you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna pop this in the oven for like 25 minutes. 20-25 minutes maybe. So let's go check it out. And then also I'm gonna go check on my other dip, my jalapeno dip. Let's see how it's doing before I stick this in there. My timer went off. Oh my goodness, it is ready. This is beautiful. Oh, I'm gonna let it cool off a little bit. Oh. And now, while that is cooling off, let's go ahead and get our poppers in the oven here. And I've got it set at 375, like I said. And we're gonna open this up here. Place these in there for 15, I'd say 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, let's set the timer. You can't have poppers without a margarita. And I'm gonna fix you one because you know what? By special request from the Aurora TV panel, I decided to showcase my margarita. So let's get started. You got your glass, right? We're gonna just start this up. You wanna just coat the edges with some lime, fresh lime. We'll get this going. Oh yeah, and I like some salt. So that looks beautiful, perfect. So we're gonna go ahead, and I've got a shaker. I've got this shaker that I got in Mexico, and I'm telling you, it comes to good use too. So we're gonna go ahead and start with our tequila. And I love, everybody has their own specialties, so use that, and you want about 2 ounces. And again, this is for a full glass, okay? So I'm doubling up this recipe. 1.5 of the triple sec. And 1 ounce of the lime juice. Woo. Okay, and then at the end we're gonna add a little special tea right there. But we're gonna go ahead and just cover this up. If you don't have a shaker, I'll show you in a minute. But what you wanna do is, okay, I gotta fill this up with ice. It's all ice. And then you're gonna shake it up. Okay, you're not supposed to go this way. You're supposed to go. And then you dance with it. Put a little shimmy. Okay, perfect, perfect. And you know, you can go ahead and add a little bit of ice because you know, this is a little, I'm just saying. And if you don't have a shaker, you can go ahead and just, I'm gonna just pour this out. Ah, yeah. Yes, fill it to the rim. I'm gonna add a little bit more ice. If you don't have a shaker, you can just use a little stir. Mine just happens to be a little chili pepper. Go figure, right? Beautiful, and we're gonna top it off on the side with a slice of lime. We'll be doing a toast here in a few. All my poppers, my dip, my jalapeno peppers are ready to rock, so we're gonna set it up. So let's get started. Yee-hee. Hola mis amigos, are we ready? We're ready for that party, and you've got these awesome recipes here that you're gonna take along because they're so easy and they're fun and they're so tasty. And of course, you're gonna add some Linditas salsa to it, your favorite salsa, of course, with your chips. And I did add my little pita chips as well. I think it goes great with this dip. And of course, the jalapeno poppers, they're gonna melt in your mouth. I'm telling you, they're so delicious. And you saw how easy this was as well. And of course, our margarita. You saw how we made our little recipe here. And of course, the only thing I forgot to add was my orange bitters. You just need a couple dashes. I see, that's all there's to it. You wanna mix it up? Oh my goodness. So again, thank you for joining us on the show, and it was just amazing. And of course, this recipe here is actually for Aurora TV and for the panel because they were requesting it, and it is so fabulous. We're going to put it on our website as well. And I just want to say thank you for joining us at this episode, and you're going to have fun this summer. And a lot more is happening, so you're going to stick around because we're going to be doing some field trips as well. And again, Linditas is available on our website, linditasalsa.com. You can get it at Nick's Garden Center too, down there and on Amazon. So hey, you've got choices. With that, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us at this episode, and I'm hoping you're enjoying all the shows because we surely are. Gracias y salud.